Crypto Kids, good evening. Unfortunately, the charts are not presenting any good signs at this moment in time, and I want to talk about when I would potentially exit my long positions. What would be the exit strategy for this current short-term bearishness? How could Bitcoin make redemption, exit this bear case scenario, and return bullish? Or if that's even possible. And I think the short-term pattern compiled with our macro analysis will give us a good indication on when I should be closing my long positions. So make sure to watch until the end. I'm not going to take too much of your time. I want to get this video published as fast as possible. If you appreciate this breaking updates, then make sure to destroy the like button, subscribe to become a crypto kid, and turn on the notification bell. Bitcoin, as I'm speaking, is right now below $109,000. We got the PCE data. PCE data came in at 2.9%. So inflation is increasing. The PCE data differs from the CPI in one singular way. The PCE actually encompasses consumer spending. So they can tell if consumers are deciding to spend more or less rather than just looking at the average price increases of a basket of goods. So the Fed tends to look at the PCE more so than they look at the CPI when they want to determine what the interest rate is going to be. And there's still an 87.2% chance the Fed will be cutting rates. So for altcoins, I think altcoins, we will see altcoin season. It's just that Bitcoin will likely see a top soon. If not, we could have already topped. That's always a possibility. I think the market is going to end where Bitcoin sees a consolidation and then a gradual decline to the downside. And during that gradual decline, I think altcoins will see the overshoots and then follow Bitcoin. And this is going to be banana altcoin season. So don't worry, I think altcoins will still be doing fine. It's just that if Bitcoin is breaking below this bull market support band, then I think a drop to the 54 simple moving average in the short term is going to be the play. And that will be determined if the bull market support band is going to be broken with this current falling wedge. And if that sees a break to the downside, and what I want to do is actually on this recent long position, I mean, it's nothing too major in capital, but I don't want to go into a loss for no reason, right? I'm going to put a stop loss over on weeks, which if you want to trade, you can use the first link in the description down below to get upgraded to VIP level 2 status 24 hours after signing up. I'm going to put the stop loss of just below, right? So we won't lose too much money, but I want to go just below the bull and bear market support band. What should we do? Maybe we do break even, and then depending on the market, we can re-enter a long position if we see a bounce or not, and I'll talk about the bounce scenario. So let's do break even. I entered this long at 104, and actually 104 is a pretty good level. So let's go break even for this trade. Stop loss is going to be break even. There's no need to be losing money unnecessarily. So I'm going to click confirm, and I'm going to put my stop loss at break even for that position. The semi-gap trade we opened, I want to cut losses on that one too. So if the price of Bitcoin is going to fall, I understand. If the price of Bitcoin falls to, let's go partial position. If we fall to about the 106,500 region where we would try and confirm the falling wedge breakdown, I want to exit 50% of that position. So let's do TPSL. I understand partial position. TPSL, I will go 106,500. And I want to do 50% of the position, and I'm going to click confirm. So we have the stop loss for that position too. Overall, obviously, guys, we're massively profitable on Bitcoin. So if you zoom out, we've been buying Bitcoin on week since $77,000. It's just that those two positions are the ones at risk, and I want to make sure that we don't lose, or I don't lose money unnecessarily. So let's talk about Bitcoin in the short-term scenarios and the plays with a bit more detail. Why are these important? If you watch the previous two videos, then you know why they're important. But I want to highlight to you very quickly, just with a previous cycle comparison, of why I'm watching the bull and bear market support band and the 54 simple moving average in a lot of detail. If you go to the previous cycles, obviously the bull and bear market support holds the parabolas in play, and it causes Bitcoin to continue in the parabola until eventually when you break below the bull bear market support band and you break below the 54 simple moving average, you go into a bear market. When the price goes above the 54 simple, you break into a bull market. So that's the TLDR. If you want more detailed insights, please watch the previous two videos. It will explain to you why this is a very important trading setup. If the bull and bear market is lost, I would immediately expect Bitcoin to drop into the 54 simple moving average, which is at the 92 territory. And if you look at the total liquidity, it's actually piling up mostly between that range anyways. So I don't want to be trapped in any massive long positions unnecessarily if Bitcoin is to lose that bull and bear market support band, which would magnetize the price to come down to, in my opinion, the $92,000 level. Would that mean that Bitcoin had its top? If we fail below that moving average, the blue moving average, then yes, it would then confirm that this was the top for Bitcoin. So far, we still have our hopes in the M2 money supply. We're still thinking maybe Bitcoin can go to the M2 money supply. That's still on the table. It's still a very likely scenario. And we just need to position ourselves in a way where if the bullish scenario is in play, then we're going to make money. If the bearish scenario is in play, then we want to make sure that we protect our capital. That's the only thing that we can do as traders. If this falling wedge is to see the breakdown, then it will, to me, solidify. We come down to the bull bear market support, which is at 107. So not so further down from where we are now. And if that bull bear market support is broken, I will be closing my long positions on week. So you want to be subscribed to this channel, turn on the notification bell to be updated if I do that, and all the details to what I'll be doing with my trades, and potentially even go into a hedge short or a full short position waiting for $92,000. So that is my play for Bitcoin. I know it's a bit alarming. It is what it is. I don't like the CME charts and how that looks too. You can see that on the daily time frame, if we remove the M2 money supply momentarily, we saw a retest to that previous line of resistance, confirmed it as resistance, and now we're seeing the rejection. So I don't like that. I know there's a CME gap at 16,800. I know that 95% of the time, believe me, I'm the one that's preaching for these CME gaps, that Bitcoin comes up and closes them. I hope it's able to see that bounce because we are at support, right? We are at support. We need to understand that we're at support. We can see that bounce potentially and come to the CME gap, and we follow the M2 money supply and it's happy days. That's also another scenario, another possibility. And I really hope that that's going to be the one. I'm just preparing so that we risk manage well, or I risk manage well. That's all I'm doing here. That's all I'm doing here. But if Bitcoin can bounce, then yeah, CME gap will be closed, and then you follow M2 money supply and 10 to 130, 140. But overall, that's just my quick outlook on Bitcoin. That's what I'm expecting. When it comes to altcoins, Ethereum, as I mentioned, don't be worried if Ethereum corrects all the way down to $4,000, maybe even down to 3.9, 3.8 thousand. A lot of liquidity is forming in that territory for Ethereum. So the 4K level is obviously very important, as Ethereum found resistance multiple times over many years at 4,000. It took Ethereum a long time to break to the upside. So I think testing it once more and then going up would make a lot of sense. I still believe in altcoin season, even though it's not going to be, in my opinion, as vigorous as what it was in 2020, 2021. I still see an overall macro 8,000 Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I'm still trying to buy as much of the dip as I possibly can for Ethereum, and I will be buying at those 4,000 levels. And with that said, guys, that's just my quick Bitcoin and Ethereum updates. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, destroy the like button for me, for the algorithm. That would be very much appreciated. I'm thankfully feeling better, so very good news on that end. But overall, the charts are unfortunately not looking the best. Guys, take care, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.